feel a lot more at peace. Hi everyone, we have been talking about self-care, daily self-care, taking better care of ourselves on a daily basis. And this idea originally came from Carrie, LeighAnna, and I will link her channel below. And she introduced in her self-care video 4 categories for daily self-care. And those categories were adequate sleep, eating well, playtime, and quiet time. So in my self-care videos, I've been using those 4 categories as sort of a guideline for taking better care of ourselves on a daily basis. And this has been a journey of keeping myself conscious of how I treat myself on a daily basis. And as I have been going through this process, I have been enjoying sharing that process and sharing that journey with you. So in my last self-care video, I talked about getting back on track. And 2 things that I shared with you that I used to get back on track were reading and also quiet time. So I want to share with you something that I use for my quiet times. Now, this idea was not my idea. This idea I learned from certified Christian coach Rachael Miller. I will leave her information in the description box below as well. She is the founder of the ministry Color Me Organized. And the tool that I learned from her, or the idea that I received from her, was to use a prayer basket. Now, quiet time can be different for everyone, but for me, for my quiet time, a big part of my quiet time consists of what I have in my prayer basket. Now, this is a pretty large basket. This is just a what is that hanging for? Oh, that's a bookmark. This is just a wicker basket that I found at a thrift store. And the top comes off like so. And this is a basket that I keep beside my bed in our bedroom, which is why I'm in my bedroom for this video. I usually don't record the self-care videos in the bedroom, but I decided to do so since that is where my prayer basket is. And basically, I keep in my prayer basket things that I will sometimes use for my quiet time. And again, quiet time is totally an individual thing. You do for your quiet time what you feel is best for you. For me, in my quiet times, I like to, first of all, be quiet, be silent, try to allow my mind to quieten down. If I haven't had a quiet time in a while, that can be challenging, because I notice if I haven't been having a quiet time, when I come back to having a quiet time, it takes a few times for my mind to quieten, because I start to have all kinds of thoughts about what happened yesterday, what I have to do today, and on and on and on. And other times, if that doesn't happen, sometimes I'll fall asleep, because my body isn't used to it anymore. So when I get out of the habit of having a quiet time, it is a transition for me to get back into the habit of it. But a quiet time is something that is essential for me. I definitely noticed a difference in my overall attitude when I am having consistent quiet times and when I'm not having quiet times. My emotional state of being is definitely a lot more positive and energetic and calm and at peace when I'm having a consistent quiet time versus when I'm not. I get the opposite. I'm not as at peace, I'm not as calm, and my emotions are more varied and up and down when I don't have quiet time. So I know for me it's essential. So one of the first things I do when I have a quiet time is I'm quiet. Quiet. I sit there and I'm quiet. I also meditate on scripture. And I have prayer. So in my prayer basket, I have in here, and in my prayer basket, I also have a few things that I use at night, so I'm kind of taking some of those things out. This is something that I have in my prayer basket, and this is a communion cup. hopefully you can see that. It's in the evening time, so I have a light on so you can see, but it may create a glare. But this is a communion cup, and I bought a set of these from my church, and I believe this was like $5 or $6, and it was a set of maybe six of these, and we used them. We've used them all. So this is the last one that I have, so I put it in my prayer basket. In my prayer basket, I have a journal, because journaling is also a part of my quiet times. I like to write. I like to write down my thoughts. I like to write down some of the inspirations that come to me while I'm in my prayer time. And so I write those thoughts down here. I have more than one journal. I have a journal where I write down dreams. Some dreams that I have that stick with me, that I feel like are meaningful and have a message. I write those down so that I can remember them. And I have another journal here. This is one that I've already used and I've kept in here. I have another journal. This is one that I've already used that is still in my prayer basket. I also have in here some cards, because sometimes during my quiet time I may think of someone. And so these are some cards that I can fill out and send to friends. And like I said, a quiet time for me, I do pray. So I have some prayer books. This is 7 Absolutes to Pray Over Your Child. And this is Promises to Pray Over Your Children. And this is Personalized Promises for Mothers. And I don't always use these, but if it comes to mind or comes to spirit to grab it, then I will. And I do a lot of journaling. This is a huge journal here that I think I've purchased from Walgreens. And so this journal is where I keep some different ideas in here. And, quiet time is such an inspirational time for me. That is why I have so many journals, because I get, as I'm reading scripture, which I'll talk about next, I may get some thoughts about that. So I have a journal. I can write down the scripture that I read. So speaking of scripture, I will at times, not every time, I will at times read scripture. And something that and getting to scripture, I will at times use my iPad to scroll through the Bible and find scripture to read, unless I'm doing like a particular Bible study. If I'm not into a particular Bible study on a particular subject or aspect of the Bible, I will go through and look for scriptures that inspire me. And back to the another thing for scripture, I use a devotional, and the devotional is Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, and I don't have it right here with me because I used it, but I also keep that in my prayer basket. It is Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, and I will insert a picture of that journal in this video. I will insert a picture of that book in this video. So that is pretty much it. Oh, I also in my prayer basket keep my vision cards. Because the vision cards that is something that I like to go over every time. I also have a vision board that is too big for this basket, but I have a vision board that I go over as well. So that is pretty much it. As far as my quiet time goes, I don't do all of those things every time because I'm not strict about it. I just wake up, I get up, and I sit there quietly. I sit there quietly for a while and allow my mind time to quieten down, and then I go from there. And from there, I may spend the whole time reading scriptures. I may spend the whole time journaling. I may spend the majority of the time in prayer. I may spend some time singing. I also have an iPod with music, and at times I will put music on. I may, what else? I may journal or have some Bible study. It just all depends. I just let the Spirit lead to guide me and let me know, what I need for that day, because maybe I need a little more scripture reading for one particular day. Maybe I just need a little more inspiration from music on another day. So every single quiet time doesn't look the same, and I don't try to make it the same. I don't try to make it into anything but what I need. So it's a time for me to yield. It's a time for me to be quiet. It's a time for me to nurture the spirit within, and that for me is very important. And I think that in our society, this society, no matter what you do, whether you work outside the home or you work in the home, you have children, you don't have children, it's a very fast-paced society, and we are stimulated in so many ways that having a time to just be quiet, I think, is beneficial for all of us. But the way you do it, is up to you. There are times also when I just will sit quietly, and my quiet time lasts for about 30 to 45 minutes. And sometimes it just seems like too little. And sometimes usually it seems like too little. So that is something that I have been getting back into the routine of, and I can already see a difference in just my clarity, my clarity in my thinking and my emotions, and just the day feels a lot less chaotic. I feel a lot more at peace and not really in control, but I don't feel like things are out of control. I just feel just at peace. Just that peace that surpasses all understanding is definitely what is birthed out of that quiet time for me. So since I mentioned my quiet time and the book, I just wanted the book Fabulosity, which I will talk about in another video. I definitely wanted to come on and kind of get a little deeper into the quiet time and share with you my prayer basket. And again, the prayer basket is just the basket that consists of some things that I use for my quiet time. Now, some of these things, I may add to it, I may take away from it, but that is what's in there right now. That's pretty much. I have some matches because sometimes I like to light candles, during my quiet time. So I have some matches in there. And I like this with the handles because sometimes I go into our bedroom closet. Sometimes I go downstairs to the couch. But if I need this, I can pick it up. Usually I leave it by my bed. And if I need anything out of it, I'll just take it out. But if I do want to take the whole thing, it's really easy to do. So that is, I think, about all I have to say about that right now. If you have any comments or questions, definitely leave those in the comment box. I would love to hear if you have a quiet time. If you want to share how having a quiet time is beneficial for you, then definitely do that. I would love to hear your comments. I've shared this video because I think that so often as mothers, we can become so busy in our roles of wife and mother that we forget to nurture ourselves. We can easily get wrapped up in taking care of everyone and everything else and not take the time to give ourselves what we need and take note of the things that we need and take note of the things that we want. And the things that we need are important. The things that we want matter. So I think that it's beneficial for us to encourage one another to take some time for ourselves. I am on a mission to continue to be happy, to live full, and to love life and love who God created me to be. Love everything that He has surrounded me with. Open my heart to give that love to others, and just live a full life. And I'm so excited about connecting with other people who are also on that journey. And if you have enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, I welcome you to subscribe. You can check out my Mom's Time Out, my self-care, and my Mommy Empowerment playlist. I thank you so much for watching. Have a happy, blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.